Hi, my name is Max Korn. I'm the Director of Reality Programming at Generation Network.
And hi, my name is Dylan Wechsler, and I am the current casting director here at Generation Network. Max and I are here today to talk to you about a new TV show proposal that we believe will really take Generation Network to the next level, as well as reach a wide demographic.
Yeah, after looking at our past reality successes on Generation Network, such as America's Craziest Families, we believe that after looking at your list of the next two proposals, the next show for us to do will be Nation's Best Promposals. What is Nation's Best Promposals, you might ask? We are going to scour the country and go all across America to find the best high school students and document their promposals live on TV.
A really interesting aspect of the show that we'll make known before every episode is this is going to be unscripted. For years, reality TV has had that connotation of being scripted. So though people want to call it a reality TV and kind of a documentary into someone's life, it's had the connotation, but that's not true. But we're going to change that with Nation's Best Promposals. We're going to make it known to all of our viewers that this is raw and natural and unscripted. This will really take the show to the next level. As I mentioned before, through this show, we want to reach a wide demographic. There are two ways that we believe we can do this. The first one is to go through different types of high schools around America, covering different socioeconomic backgrounds, which Max will cover in a little bit. Another way to do this is we recognize that in the year 2022, America's social climate is constantly changing, and there are a few ways we can tackle this. We can show various different types of couples, such as same-sex couples, interracial couples, so people really feel seen in Nation's Best Promposals.
Yes, and going back to the socioeconomic point from before, we believe that showing all types of schools will be very important to reaching a wide demographic. That includes public schools, private schools, charter schools, you name it. We believe that documenting all types of schools will be very important to reaching a wide viewer base on Generation Network.
There are a few ways that we want to reach our target market and our audience for this show, and also the people that are going to be in our show, our high school students. We can do this through traditional advertising and non-traditional advertising.
Yes, so in terms of traditional advertising, we believe the best ways to approach that will be through social media, TV commercials, billboards, radio, and other means of usual advertising. As for non-traditional, we believe that we can approach students through things like skywriting above schools or trucks driving by during dismissal periods, as well as things on the morning announcements. We believe that with non-traditional advertising, it will come off more friendly towards students and make them more inclined to want to be on our show.
Yeah, that all sounds really cool, but let's dial it back a little and take a deep dive into traditional advertising. We said that through traditional advertising, we're going to focus on social media. Every day, the average teenager picks up their phone 105 times a day. Can you imagine that? That is wild. We're going to use this to our advantage, though. We can use social media platforms such as the wildly successful TikTok or the all-knowing and all-dear-truing Instagram to really spread the message of our new TV show. We want to make sure that we are casting the most interesting high school students that have the best sweetheart stories with the people that they're going to go to prom with to really make our show that much more captivating.
In terms of TV advertising, in terms of traditional, we can advertise on channels that teenagers typically watch. That includes stuff like ESPN or other means such as Nickelodeon. Even some kids would watch that. We believe that advertising on these channels will get kids to want to be part of our show as they see other kids on TV as well.
Yeah, so to go even further into non-traditional advertising, Max mentioned skywriting. That sounds awesome.
Yes,
now,
does.
imagine yourself at the beach. When you go to the beach, you always see flying by that classic Geico gecko just in the sky with a message. We're going to use this to our advantage, though unfortunately not every high school is on the beach, as cool as that would be. So what we can do is at dismissal, when the kids are coming out of school, we can hire an advertising plane to fly over the sky and have a message, a really cool message that will get kids excited for Nation's Best Promposals.
Yes, and also going back to the truck idea, we believe that at a similar dismissal period, we can have trucks drive by schools with advertising in the back. That'll be a new, unconventional way of advertising that can get kids more excited and more involved in the advertising of our show.
As we mentioned before, we want to make sure that every high schooler across America, from LA to New York City, from Maine to Texas, we want to make sure that everyone feels seen in America's Best Promposals, and there are a few ways we can do that. First, let's talk about how is Generation Network going to position our corporate brand and image for this new TV show.
So, our corporate brand right now on Generation Network is that we have a lot of reality shows as well as other network programming. We believe that with a wide viewer base that we're going to get from this new reality show, if we advertise to people like high schoolers, we believe we can grow Generation Network a lot in the next couple of years. with the success of the show.
We want to make sure that we stay true to the fundamentals of Generation Network. Take Calvin Klein. They have been around for years, the leading corporation in undergarments. But yet, what has always worked for them? They have stayed true to Calvin Klein's image. His image was to create a growing clothing brand, and we believe that this is the same for Generation Network, although it's not clothes, it's TV. We want to make sure we stay true to our corporation's founding images and really stay true to what we know works at Generation Network, which is reality TV and TV game shows, and take that to the next level through this show.
An important part of knowing what our corporate brand is identifying our market and the concept of what a market is. A market is really who you're advertising to and who is buying or using your product. In our case, we have viewers ranging from typically the ages of 18 to 35. That is our biggest demographic. We also believe that with game shows, we can attract a wide variety of different people and families from all ages. In terms of market identification, identifying our market is really important because if we identify the correct market, we can then use that information in social channels and different means of advertising to advertise to as many people as possible who might be interested in our shows.
We can also break down market identification into two things: primary target market and secondary target market. For this new TV show, our primary target market is going to be high school kids who are about the age of seniors getting ready to go to college, who are really in that prom planning phase. So that's going to be our target market. And our secondary target market is going to be people all across America who love reality TV, and specifically the people that have always stayed true to Generation Network.
Yes, and the best ways to approach those target markets are to use different types of advertising media. Now, in terms of what we talked about before, there's different types of advertising media in social media itself, but there's also TV, radio, billboards, posters, and a bunch of other things that we could use to our advantage when advertising our new show.
Yeah, we want to make sure that it is spread out in a wide variety of ways for people to learn about this new TV show. As Max mentioned, we can use posters. Well, how can we use posters for this new TV show, you might ask? We can send it out to different districts around the nation and ask them to put it up in their high school, hand it out of their classrooms with more information about our TV show, and if they're interested, to how to get into contact with our casting agency, which as the casting director, I will be leading. We also want to make sure that through these posters and advertising, kids know that there's something really cool that comes around with being part of this show. We want to make sure that people know about that $1,000 incentive if they're on this show. This will be huge, as kids that are going to prom are generally seniors. They can use that money in college, either for paying for it or as little extra spending money, which everyone always loves, to really enhance their college experience. So this will be really beneficial in our advertising plan.
Of course. And also, an important part of using these advertising channels is to create secondary advertising in the form of creating word-of-mouth marketing. If we have a popular enough advertisement on, let's say, YouTube or Instagram, that can create word-of-mouth advertising in itself and spread our TV show and our message across to many more people who otherwise wouldn't have seen the advertisement before.
It has been shown time and time again that word of mouth is so successful. Take an NBC show, for example. Their show is successful, yes, because of their commercials, but it's also successful because people love them so much that they'll talk about it with their friends. Look at American Ninja Warrior. That was a tiny TV show that people all across the nation now love. Why? Because it's so captivating that people talk about it with their friends, about their favorite competitors or their favorite obstacle course, and what was so cool, and that is the perfect example of word-of-mouth marketing. Word-of-mouth marketing is also super effective because it doesn't cost us anything. We run one commercial and make it known to someone about our new TV show, then they spread to someone. The spread is the word-of-mouth marketing, and that is free, and it is super effective.
And the word-of-mouth marketing benefits don't stop there, as it is also used as a great direct marketing channel. We believe with other direct marketing channels, such as doing brand deals and promotions, we can get people involved who wouldn't have otherwise known, and we can advertise to them directly without the use of other people and other sorts of services that we would have already had to pay for anyway.
The nature of direct marketing channels is actually quite interesting. When you think about a typical market, you're going from the producer to a wholesaler retail, and then you're going to the consumer. But direct marketing changes that. We go directly from Generation Network to the homes of people and teenagers in our target market to get them excited. Direct marketing goes from the creator, for in our example, the creator of Nation's Best Proposals, which is us, Generation Network, and goes straight to our viewers. That is direct marketing.
One use of direct marketing that we saw that was very good for advertising was for the recent The Book of Boba Fett show on Disney Plus. What they did with Twitter was they added their own custom emojis that people can use in their tweets, and we believe if we do something similar on maybe on a different platform, we can advertise to more people and get more people a part of our demographic and part of our viewer base. We believe that leads into the other important part of direct marketing channels, which is technology.
Yeah, technology can be really effective. As my colleague mentioned, take the Book of Boba Fett or any big TV show. They use Twitter emojis that he's mentioned, but they also use Snapchat. As you may know, Snapchat has a function where you can add a feature, and every day there's a new feature. So for a week or something, even maybe around Valentine's Day, which is just only a year out now, what we can do is have a filter on Snapchat and really get people excited about this. As I mentioned before, teenagers pick up their phone 105 times a day. And I actually ran a survey. Out of 105 times a day, 50% of those times are on Snapchat. And I asked even more, 75% of teenagers only take pictures on Snapchat with a filter. So we can use this filter to our advantage to create advertising for our show.
Yes, and the use of technology and promotion function is very important to us because, as we mentioned before, our target demographic is mostly high school students. So, with the use of technology, we can exacerbate that even further and get a wider demographic and viewer base. And, of course, we have persuasive message to get people involved as part of our advertising plan, which Dylan will read to you now.
Yeah, so as Max mentioned, the use of technology doesn't stop there. We've mentioned spreading this message, so I'm actually going to read to you something that we have in mind now. Okay, here we go. Thinking of an extravagant proposal idea that you know will go viral, but your parents won't let you pay for it because it's so crazy? Have you always dreamed of being on reality TV? Well, here's how we come in. At Generation Network, we are creating a brand new TV show called Nation's Best Promposals, and we want you to be in it. If you're interested, head to our Instagram or Twitter page now, or even go to our website to get more information on casting. All right. So we believe this new message will really captivate the lives of teenagers. We can put this in the sky, as we mentioned before with our skywriting, or put it on a truck, or put it on a poster, and really get people excited about Nation's Best Promposals.
Thank you so much for your time, and we'd like to ask if you have any questions.